already have acid reflux from anxiety. Hi. This is the most difficult video I've ever had to film on YouTube. This video, just a warning, is going to include a lot of violence, a lot of abuse, a lot of very traumatic things about eating disorders, stuff like that. So if any of this is triggering to you, upsets you in any way, this is not the video for you. The last video I posted that was like a makeup chat video, one of the most recent ones on this channel, was just the surface level of some of like the sexual kind of abuse as an everyday woman that I've been through. And YouTube did not like that video. Ads were just almost completely taken off. And I'm not here to get money. Probably not gonna make ads on this one either. Who cares? I'm not here to do that. I'm here to talk about my childhood, my abuse story, my bullying story, chit chat, get ready with me, back to school makeup video. I'm the type of person when I'm going through something, I try not to bring on this, I feel like I'm carrying like a huge load and I don't want self-pity. I'm doing this video not for you guys to, you know, oh, woe is Kat, oh, so sad. I am doing this as a warning for anyone who's going through this, before anyone goes through this, so you guys can see warning signs so that this does never happen to you. I don't want this to happen to me again, to you, to my future children, because my life has been a tale of like coming from the depths of depression, sadness, ups and downs like a roller coaster. And this is just my tale. I'm gonna do a back to school makeup video because like I said again, I like to talk about cheerful things so I don't feel like I'm bringing you all of my baggage, just little tiny purses that are in cute like little things, but once you open them you're like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? Because it's almost back to school. The reason why I really want to do this is if you're going to school and bullies are ever so prevalent now, even maybe more so than I was in school because they follow you home. There's online bullying now. I did not have that. I had AOL Instant Messenger where you had to add an actual friend that you knew. That was as close to any type of online bullying I could get. I'm a child who was born in the 80s, so I am going to try on some drugstore makeup while doing this video. CoverGirl sent this over. We have some foundations, powders, highlighters, brow products. They sent me my wrong color, so, and I'm not a matte type of full coverage gal, so I'm gonna use my version of that matte made in the 3-in-1 Outlast Stay Fabulous in my color, which is buff beige. Ooh, and I'm gonna try their new concealer. This looks promising. I have from E.L.F. a refrigerator that they gave me full of skincare. Ooh, they're all nice and cold. So I'm gonna try some of these on. They got some jelly stuff for my skin. We're gonna do the water gel moisturizer and the primer together, see how that lays as a base for foundation. And I'm gonna use their brow products. Because E.L.F. also sent over this huge brow thing full of their new eyebrow stuff, so we're gonna try that. And Profusion has this gorgeous palette that I've seen. I've heard they're in Walmart, but I haven't seen it. And I can't find this online. It's called the Mirage palette and it's gorgeous, so we're gonna play with that. Anyways, let's start talking about my past. Let's get the most toughest situation out of the way first. The reason why I haven't filmed this video till now is because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus who knows me and is in my life who's probably gonna see this video. I don't want to throw my family under the bus or anyone who was my friends during this time or anyone in my life, because this is just my experience that I'm retelling. And sometimes when you tell a really tragic experience and someone was with you in your life or, you know, interacted with you in your life around that time, they might think that you're crazy, over dramatic, or lying, but I could put my hand on a stack of Bibles to guarantee this was true. But let's get on with it. Again, this is gonna be sad. And we're gonna talk about the cultural differences. Not every Japanese American household's like mine. Just doing my own experience. My mom's full Japanese, my dad is Native American, which means you're not supposed to talk about your feelings. And they don't believe, when I grew up, in self-help, whoa, that's cold. in self-help like therapy or stuff like that, that was just like fairy tales and fantasies in my household. But when I was born in Long Beach, California, I went to live with my parents. They've been married, they're still married. And aside from like, you know, your mom spanking you with like objects in different cultures' household, that's what I experienced. I'm sure a lot of like different cultures have experience where, you know, if you get in trouble, you might get a spanking. And nowadays, I feel like some people think that's child abuse, but that's just what I grew up with. And that's a touchy subject too. But I'm just gonna say, yes, my mom spanked me. Yes, I've been spanked with objects and objects thrown at me growing up if I was in trouble. This is the primer, Dew Primer from the Jelly Pop E.L.F. collection. This stuff smells amazing. They all smell like candy. Now that our primer's all set, I'm gonna start off with the CoverGirl foundation, and we are going to use an E.L.F. sponge. But around the age of 4 to 5 years old, I didn't have many friends. I had like a neighbor friend, and it was a teenage boy, which is weird. Why would a little girl hang out with a teenage boy? And his younger brother. And they would live next door and come over because we had a big backyard. And my dad built me my own playhouse that matched our house. And I had like my little tea set in there. Again, I was 4 and 5 years old when this was happening. But my mom had a weird feeling about these kids because she saw them playing weird with me. Even I think the youngest boy was like 8 and I was only 4. You have to watch out to have your kids play with older kids without watching them. Because I would go down the slide and they would have me weirdly situated, holding me like way too close for comfort while I went down the slide with them. And my mom thought that was weird. She never invited them over again. But since they lived next door, they still came over the fence and blocked me off in my, this is where it gets dark, in my playhouse. I remember to the age I was 3, I remember them pinning me down, kissing me, touching me inappropriately. And you know, it's always people that people don't expect who are really close to you. It's just so sad because that was my first friend. My first friends were 2 brothers, and I remember the younger one being shown by the older one what to do to me. Again, really dark. I know that some people have gone through this, and it was so hard for me to talk about it until I was in my late 20s because I would always cry. But now I feel like this is the first time that I could talk about it without crying. There's actually people in my life who don't know about this, and who, I don't know if they watch my videos now, but this might be the first time they hear about it. I've only told my mom, my dad probably knows, and one of my aunts. So that was my first experience of friendship, and it really messed me up. I knew it was wrong, that wasn't the true way for friends to interact with each other and touch each other. So that's where all of my anxiety, I feel like, comes from, because I was always afraid that I was going to be inappropriate to my friends, since I feel like I didn't know how to interact with people my age. Since that was my first interaction, I was always afraid I did something wrong. I would overthink to the point of like every single night after school I would cry, and my mom didn't know how to console me because I'd be crying about the dumbest things. Literally, like, I remember the first grade is when it really started, and I had like a hangnail and I was braiding my best friend Brittany's hair, and I absolutely loved hanging out with her. She braided my hair. I put bows in her hair, and I accidentally scratched her face when I was putting a bow in her hair from my hangnail, and I panicked. And when I went home, I thought I was so mean to my friend Brittany that she would never want to talk to me again. I would cry every single night about the dumbest things, and I would overanalyze my friendships. Like, I thought that I would mess up my friendships because I felt like such an outsider that I knew something was wrong. I've never gone to therapy for any of this, again, because my family does not believe in therapy. I mean, I'm an adult now, so I probably could. I should. But I always used art as like my therapy. And that's how even my YouTube channel started. Because it got worse. Because I knew that I didn't know how to make friends that well. My parents were older, all that happened to me, and I was always afraid of my friends or how I would treat my friends. I didn't want them to be angry at me. That's what I was really afraid of, because then I thought they would do something like that, and it all backfired. Because when I went into elementary school, I became friends with this girl who no one wanted to be friends with, and they would bully her to the point where they would throw her helmet into the bushes because they hated her so much, and I thought that was wrong. And I thought, why should this girl get bullied? Like, what did she actually do? And so I became her friend. As a Libra, I thought everybody should be treated equal. Why was this girl, didn't see any signs of her being mean. Why were they throwing her helmet in the muddy bushes? And so I was her only friend. And this friendship was so the worst decision of my life. I don't have a drugstore bronzer, so sorry. It's the one drugstore thing I'm not gonna use. So this friend from elementary through college, from the first grade through college, was odd because everyone told me, why are you friends with this person? This person isn't nice, and I didn't see it at first. I'm like, why? Like, everybody's so mean to her. Like, what's wrong? I've got some blushes and highlighters that are jelly. So the first thing that I thought was weird, I guess everyone does this, but like, ooh, I don't like this that much. You know how friends like, oh my gosh, Stacy, I love your sweater. Oh my gosh, thank you. I literally wore this shirt today because it's my SpongeBob Happy shirt. My best friend bought it for me as a surprise gift, and it just makes me happy. But you know, that's true friends. Like, you guys want to match each other. It's cute. Like, sharing is caring. When it gets dangerous and weird, not dangerous, but weird is like when they don't want, like, you can't wear that sweater, blah, 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 because I'm wearing it, blah, 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 and you can't own that because I own it. You need to watch out, because why are they being that way? That's how this girl was being. We went on Weight Watchers together to lose weight because we were both, I guess, overweight considered when we were 12 years old. And she made it like a competition, and she had me call her every night to tell her exactly what I ate, and if she, whoa, that's a weird. If I didn't tell her, she'd get really upset. And she made it like a competition, which is really dangerous. I lost over 50 pounds. I was eating, I'm not gonna tell the number of calories I was eating again, because that could be toxic. I was eating very little calories. I don't like this highlight that much. Working out constantly. I was losing my hair. It was just bad news. I'm gonna use this Profusion Mirage palette. I'm gonna use one of these as highlight because I don't like the jelly highlighter that much. So that's when it got dangerous. She would stalk guys in high school. That's when it was really bad. And then she would lock me in her garage and force me to drink an alcoholic drink underage, and wouldn't let me out until I drank a sip of said alcoholic drink because she knew I didn't drink. Just to push the boundaries. She's probably watching this now. I blocked her on everything, and she still wants to get a hold of me. But I just don't know if I'm ready. I know people change, but when my grandmother died in college together, she told me when would I stop crying, and I just left. She's like, when are you gonna come back? This is after 15 years or so of friendship. I said probably never, and I never saw her again. She would stalk me and my mother and get in car accidents. It was just so toxic. Like, if there were 2 slices of pizza, one was bigger, she made sure she got the bigger piece of pizza. She would borrow money from me and never give it back. She would make me feel less than and like try to introduce me into like hurting myself because she was into that and I wasn't. Just very, again, I said this is gonna be dark, very toxic, just bad things. I'm gonna use these E.L.F. brow things, so I'm excited. Look how cute these brow gels are. But those are just a few things that I could remember off the top of my head. There's a lot more that she put me through. And so as you can see, it's like really weird for me to want to become friends with a person like that. And like I said, I know people change, but that's all I remember. Like, I need to be babied into talking to a person, not knowing if they changed. That's not a bad brow pencil. It's a little light. So that was my second introduction to friendships. And that's why I'm deathly afraid on who I'm friends with. Because I feel like I get so gullible and then just it goes awry. I really like this brow pencil. This is the E.L.F. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. It has a spoolie on the end. I hope they have more shades than just these two. If not, that's trash. I'm gonna try this brow gel. Seems pretty thick. This is in the color Deep Brown, since that brow pencil seemed a little light. And while I was friends with this girl, while we were in high school, I don't want to say I was anorexic. I could show you pictures because I was never diagnosed as anorexic. I never went to the hospital. Like, I'm not putting anything on my parents at all. Like, my parents are wonderful people. I feel like there was no open communication about feelings, about what was going on. Like, I feel like there's a lot of families that are like that actually. And while I was losing all this weight, and people did not like me because I was so like moody with not having enough food in my body. Like, I went down to a size, I think like 1 or 3 in juniors, and I started off in like the plus size juniors. And once I lost all the weight, I thought I would be happy and I'd get more friends that were loving and caring to me, and it did nothing. Like, I still had like almost like, I don't want to diagnose myself again, but almost like a body dysmorphia where I still like saw rolls of probably extra skin that I needed to like lose weight. I'm gonna dip into this color, and this color is speaking to me. And while I was losing this weight, I thought maybe I'll finally get a boyfriend. I didn't start dating till I was in college because of what happened here. When I was in high school, there was this one guy in my classes who I had a feeling liked me. I don't know how he got my phone number, but he got my phone number. I feel like back in that day, you could just look up people's phone numbers in the phone book and find them. I think that's how that happened. And he would talk to me like for hours. And I would just tell my mom it's someone from school, but he was like obsessive. And I feel like I made a hint to him that I didn't like him back like that. So all of a sudden, once I told him that I didn't like him, that's when my life turned to hell in high school. In PE class, I had this guy in my class that was best friends with this guy that liked me, and I didn't like him back. And every single day for an entire year, he would make sure and wait till the PE teacher wasn't looking and beat the ever-living crap out of me. I remember I was so scared of being on the baseball field, and I just had quit baseball because I was afraid of sliding and ruining my legs and cutting up. And then I got to feel that being cut up in your legs and your face from the grit of the baseball field, because he would smash my face into the baseball field, and I could just feel every bit of the dirt of him choking me. I have a fear of people to this day from now on, of people holding anything pressure around my neck. My poor boyfriend cannot kiss me on my neck without me freaking out. I've had multiple panic attacks till this day from undiagnosed PTSD, because every single time there's pressure around my neck, I start immensely crying, tears uncontrollably for an hour or more. It first happened when I was in makeup school, and I had like this thing, and I was in a life cast, it was called, where they take a mold of your body so they can make cool monster prosthetics on you. But when you're in a life cast, they have to put on this stuff that hardens and puts pressure on your whole like neck, chest, so it feels almost like you're underground. Almost feels like, to me, being buried alive. Probably not to most, but to me, because I have such a sensitivity around my neck about that situation that happened to me where I was being beaten up every day. So to this day, I cannot do the neck thing. I even get nervous when I hug someone from the first time sometimes, because I'm afraid that they're gonna hug more around my neck, especially around small children, which is sad, because, you know, they grab onto your neck. You know, I probably really need therapy, but I grew up in a family that didn't believe in it and believes that you should just battle it all on your own. And sometimes I think that way, unfortunately, like, oh, I got this, I don't need help. And I'm in a good headspace right now. That's why I'm doing this video, because sometimes I get so depressed, it's bad. I'm gonna dip into this color. It's called Sunset. Oh yes. Ooh, I know what I need. I need a pencil brush with this color. This is the color Flame, right in that cut crease. I wish I had the balls to wear this makeup at school. I feel like I was not talented enough. I try to blend in as much as I can in school. because I didn't want that guy to beat me up. I thought losing weight and blending in somehow at the same time would make him not look at me. Didn't work. And if you ever face that, like what I did, please, please, please tell a family member, tell someone you trust, like a teacher or something at school, because you don't want what I have now, which is raging PTSD. You don't want to be fearful of just random people in your life just from them trying to hug you. That's ridiculously sad in not a good way. Not sad like, oh, feel bad for me. Sad and like you can't live your everyday life and you don't know when you're gonna have a panic attack. It's not cute. We need a crease shade. I'm gonna get this color in my crease. It's the color Outgoing. I remember I feel like I had to like get approved what I wore to school by that friend, and all that was happening, me being friends with this crazy person while I was being beaten up every day. The most terrible things. There's a little fallout with this palette, but nothing you can't fix. I hope soon I won't have to make a video like meeting my school bully again. Just live in constant fear the rest of my life. So don't do what I did. Go to therapy. Talk to someone about your problems if you're getting bullied. I'm serious. Like really talk to someone, because you telling someone else about your bullying could save someone else's life. Like could really save them from having the same trauma from that bully in the future. I'm serious. Like what if me not telling had so many other girls and people being bullied by the same guy? Like I could have stopped that. But I was too afraid because he knew where I lived. He knew my phone number. I feel like I would get in trouble by my family if I talk about it. Recently I didn't tell my parents till I was in my mid-20s. They were upset that I never told them. I'm just tired of people getting upset at me and hitting me, and just don't want that to happen again. That's why I'm scared to like open up and tell people. That's why it's taking me, what, 10 years on YouTube? 11 years? What is it now? To talk about this. Because I'm afraid that it's going to happen again. Just talking about it. Which is ridiculous. That's not going to happen again. Corey, my boyfriend, wouldn't let it. So I'm very weary about who I'm friends with now. I feel like there's something in me that people just see and they're like, oh, she's gullible and nice. Let's take advantage of her. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like these eyeshadows. It's patchy. This is why I was nervous about doing a drugstore makeup. If you want a drugstore palette that's better than this, get the NYX This Baby. It's easier to find. But I'm just telling you guys this so you won't have to relive what I did, because I'm telling you, PTSD is no joke. My boyfriend gets PTSD. I get PTSD. Thank God we both don't get it at the same time. Okay, let's try the Watermelon Juicy Gloss from E.L.F. Oh, this taste, well, smell, I don't know about taste. Smells like the Sour Patch Kid watermelon candy. Love that. And it doesn't feel sticky at all. It's like super moisturizing feeling. I'm gonna try some of the purple. It's not too purple, it's great. Oh, these are gorge. I'm surprised I've been talking about this without crying, because let me tell you, I used to cry about it till I was like 28. Another thing to watch out for with friend, I know my toxic friend used to do this to me all the time, is she would make up lies to me. She told me this lie, that one of her friends had such bad scoliosis that said friend with scoliosis wore a back brace, which everyone knew at school and helped her out, but she told me that the back brace had to be screwed in manually into her bones, and it terrified me and I felt so bad. She's like, you know, you should be a good friend and actually ask her if she needs help with screwing her back brace in at PE. So I would go, of course, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should help. And I would go up to the girl that was her friend, not really my friend with scoliosis, like, hey, do you need help? I heard this. And she knew I would ask about that because she made a lie to me to make me look like a fool in front of everybody. I'm gonna put some pink eyeliner in my eye just because I feel like it. I remember she would underage drink all the time. Had one sip that one time. That's why I probably never was a drinker, because she steered me so far clear from ever wanting to drink, because her situation was bad. Bad. And sometimes I still run into some of her family and stuff, and I'm cool. Like, I have nothing to hide. I'll say, hey, what's up? I hope my bully friend got help, like, through all this. I honestly hope she's like nicer and got help, nice to people. And it's so weird because she had other friends that she was so nice to, and when it came to me though, she was so cruel. Like I was her evil stepsister, she treated me like. And I knew she had real friends that she was nice to that I was kind of jealous of, because I'm like, is anyone else getting treated? Why just me? What's wrong with me? I always looked at it, what's wrong with me? When the guy was beating me up every day at high school, I'm like, what's wrong with me? When my friend, who I became my first actual friend with in first grade, because everyone was so mean to her, all my friends left me because I became friends with her, probably because they were warning me how crazy she was. And when she was so mean to me, I'm like, what's wrong with me? That is such a weird thing in my head that I have, even to this day. If like someone treats me bad, like I had one friend who like said that I went to the movies with her and her other friends, and like it was weird, like they were Caucasian white girls and all the Asian girls of their friends were in the back. It was like a weird segregation thing, and I sat next to her because she was the only person I knew in this group, and she was like, granted she was probably really drunk, but she was like, oh, you're so lucky you look white, because or else you would have to sit in the back with all the Asian people. And even then, like, I still thought, what's wrong with me? And I was just there to watch a movie with my friend, and she's telling me that I'm lucky I look white because I should sit in the back with Asian people. Like, even to this day, I'm like, oh, it's my fault. Like, I shouldn't have gone. I shouldn't have been there. Like, I can't like live my life without this weird thing in my head that like it's me doing something wrong. In like college, like my friend would like abandon me while I was still in class, even though I had no car and we were supposed to carpool together. And like, I'm like, oh, maybe I made her mad when she abandoned me on campus and I had no ride home. It really messes with your head, because like if I get laid off of a job or something, I worked in the legal field for a few years, and I got laid off the job literally because they didn't have money to hire out the paralegals I was working for the company. So they had layoffs of the paralegals because they weren't getting enough money for the cases we were working on. So I was just the youngest and one of the people that they had to lay off. So I thought, what's wrong with me? And it just traveled. It traveled throughout my life, and it's just so bad of a way to think of, because there's probably nothing wrong with me. It's just bad things happen to people. Life is up and down of bad and good, and you just have to be strong and a cheerleader to yourself. Like now I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. It wasn't my fault that she treated me like trash for like over 15 years of my life. This is why I want to have kids. This is why I made the decision that someday I'm gonna have kids and they're gonna be prepared to stand up to their bullies. And if you can't stand up to their bullies, because I had an over 100-pound more guy beating me up every day, you need to tell someone and be in a safe place. Don't go to that class the next day after you told. Like, be sure you're safe. Like, I just can't believe I put up with that. And I'm happy I'm here to survive it. I can't believe I just used my art to get through all that. That's why I'm so gravitated to the creepy cute stuff, because my childhood wasn't filled with Disney Channel and stuff like that. I grew up on X-Files in fear of going in my backyard, and my neighbors would climb over my fence to sexually abuse a 4-year-old kid, me. Like, it's just crazy. To this day, like, I feel guilt that I didn't tell anybody, that it's my fault that I didn't tell anybody. And that's just a twisted way to look at it now. Like, I was 4, like, what was I supposed to do? I didn't even know what Monday was at 4. I didn't know the full entire alphabet or how to add or subtract. Like, and I'm not gonna blame all this on my family. You know, my family, they're good people. Unless you have a super toxic relationship with your family, I understand that you could cut them off, but like, I know they probably feel guilty, but you know, stuff happens. And some things you don't even know it's bad till you look back on it later and you're like, wow, how did I survive that? And now looking at life, I went through so many struggles like this. Didn't know how to interact with people my age. Literally from the first grade through high school, I cried every single day. If it wasn't morning, if it wasn't night. The original Pokemon like theme song from the TV show gives me anxiety, because I remember bawling my eyes out while I was trying to eat breakfast. I was so afraid to go to school because I was afraid of how to interact with my friends, that I would like treat them badly, as when I was young treating me badly. I didn't want to put on what I felt that has happened to me onto anybody else. Like, I felt like I was the demon, like it was my fault that happened to me. I feel like my childhood was kind of taken from me in that way. I don't really have any friends. Imagine crying every single day. How exhausting is that? And I remember my family would just call me the sensitive one because I wanted hugs all the time, wanted to talk out my problems. I would cry all the time. Yo, if you think your kid's a sensitive one, ask them questions, have them be open to talk to you about anything. I wish my family, like, they did good, but I just wish that they'd be like, are you okay? Like, do you need to talk about something? Just, if you are going through something, let me know. We can't change our past, and what I know now is that the past made me so much stronger because I never thought I would make my own career and like live off of it, and literally coming from the bottom to make my twisted art career from my twisted childhood. I don't know if you've noticed, that's why I got the inspiration from my Twisted Disney series of turning princesses into creepy monsters, because as I was playing with my princess dolls, all of that crazy, scary stuff was happening to me. And that's what really inspired me, as twisted and messed up as that is, to create this channel, use art as my therapy. That's what I experienced when I looked at Disney princesses. All I saw was these girls that I hoped that they didn't. I wonder if Ariel had friends touching her. Like, I wonder if these princesses, I asked myself all the time as a kid, if they were afraid for their life, crying every day. You know, every princess in most of the movies are crying. Cinderella cries, Snow White cries, so I cried every day. Like, maybe it's just normal. Like, dude, that's why, like, all this twisted stuff I do, that's probably where it mentally came from. I remember in art class, like, my teachers knew I was depressed and they'd want me to talk about it with them, and I tried. I openly told my class, I'm depressed, that's where my art comes from. Because, you know, they liked my art, but it came from a dark place, guys. These are in the style Robin from Dollar Lash Club, these lashes. This makeup didn't come out how I expected it to, but that's fine. Because my life, in this video of me talking about my twisted, crazy life, didn't come how I expected to either. My life is so twisted and sad, and again, I am not here to get pity. Just telling you my story to hopefully help someone else out there who's going through a similar thing, who has gone through a similar thing. You don't need to tell your story to me down below, because it took me, what, 30 years? 25 years? 25 to tell about this story, for me to heal a little bit from it. And yeah, that's how this channel started. That's why I'm the way I am. That's why I relate to older people, because I didn't have friends growing up my age. It was just different, and I feel like I was punished for being different. But it was just like toxic, bad people, friends, child abusers. So I want to make this video to know you're not alone. This is the look. And I know I'm making my weird makeup faces posing the makeup, but I just want to thank you guys so much for giving me the courage to tell my story about my dark and abusive past, because I wouldn't have any courage to make this if it wasn't for you all rooting for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look. I really enjoyed the CoverGirl True Undercover Concealer. The loose powder was great. I love the Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. I love the E.L.F. Jelly Pop lip glosses. These were freaking amazing. I'm not a big fan of the face gloss, like highlighter thing, or the blush, but I do love these moisturizers, and primers are great, and they all smell wonderful. I absolutely love the eyebrow pencil as well from E.L.F. It is a dupe to my all-time favorite of the Sigma Fine Brow Pencil. This Ultra Precise Brow from E.L.F. is great and affordable. The gels weren't that bad either. The brow gel, I wasn't a big fan of that Profusion eyeshadow palette either. It's kind of patchy. I really just wanted to make this video, again, not for any type of, oh, feel bad for me, so I could help someone out there, because if you're going through anything similar, seeing warning signs or anything, please tell someone, ask opinions, tell someone you trust, talk to your family if they're open to it. Your mental health is very important. And if I knew that growing up, I would not be in the situation of having PTSD, anxiety-ridden days so many times, and you don't want that. You don't want to live your life in fear like I was for so many years. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to this channel for more videos where we do chit chat get ready with me's like this, but hopefully a lot lighthearted than this. I promise. I know these last two chit chat get ready with me's have been kind of dark, but I promise we'll have fun. Also, all the products I use in this video will be listed down below because they are from the drugstore. And I do makeup effects videos too. Every Monday and Friday I do 2 videos a week here on this channel. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!